smoking though. An early first blood would be a good way here for Wildcard to get a start.
Placed some nice warding, and that arrow though, nice setup here. This is looking like a dead crit, and that's an even better way to start off this off lane here for Divine Llama. And this was the lane that, you know, the guys were worried about for the side of EG.
That will help things. Yeah, I wonder if they maybe wanted to give the first blood either mid or carry, but you know, you got to get the kill against the Pango. He could jump away, so blow him up. Crit ends up dying. He's going to be back on the map. We'll see if they get any good map control out of that. Could lead to more bounty runes than normal. In fact, Sam is going to scout that Jerax is playing in this area.
It feels like they're trying to just gain as much control as possible. In fact, they do manage to get that disruption arrow coming through a little bit off the mark here for Jerax, but they'll get a decent amount of harassment placed on the Enchantress and actually force out those sprites really early.
It was a good try. It's hard to land those long-range arrows for disruption timings, but it might lead to the ward get deward. Yeah, it's getting pinged here. Very possible that Jerax will move over and deward it, but it looks like EG's actually going to start in a little bit of a tri lane here.
Interesting.
But Wildcard's going to move to match it. They obviously see with the ward that crit's moving up here, so they'll start this out. And this is fine. This is like classic Mirana combo. In fact, that's what they're aiming for. It's not so much the Sand King Mirana. It's going to be Shadow Demon into arrow. But with that said, Sammy a little out of position here.
Yeah, I don't think he was expecting everyone to start off here, but tries to buy a bit more time. Arrow does connect over onto crit. They're not going to be able to do too much, though. Just be able to harass, but Jerax, of course, with those healing sprites, be able to help crit get back up.
Yeah, too out of position there for him to engage there. Alex was trying to move around to the side first is probably what was happening, go through the trees. That way he could get an arrow from a different angle, potentially, but Sammy Boy was up aggressively. That means they were a little bit disconnected, and that's why Sammy ended up being so far out of position. So
10 stacks on Abed here in this mid lane, but they will wear off. And the Esk have to start all over again. And of course, Abed has that stick already prepared, very aware of what's about to happen.
A little bit of poison damage against the Drow Ranger, but Fast Wraith Band will help. A little bit extra armor for Drow in case she gets harassed. Off lane is Divine Llama's Tiny versus Arteezy's Terrorblade. So it should be, well, that's actually going really bad for Divine Llama. In fact,
yeah.
Divine Llama has very little armor. Arteezy's 10 and 3 right now. Tiny's got 2 last hits, 3 last hits now. Not good.
Is this the play that you'd want to have coming up from Wildcard, is just to continue to keep Alex up here?
I mean, it makes the Shadow Demon a lot better and helps guarantee that Drow has a good game. I think that's their goal, because their mid doesn't have carry potential at all. It's a Batrider, obviously still effective hero, but if Drow gets behind, they're just going to get crushed in the late game against TB. And TB should have a decent lane against Tiny. He's clearly done a good job pressuring, right? Like, his illusions do a lot of damage to Tiny. He used meta when the lane started to out-harass Divine Llama. So Arteezy is just doing a really good job here. So Arteezy's having a good time. They also have to guarantee it for Drow Ranger, and the tri-lane's one way to do that.
I feel like when you have an off-lane Tiny, though, it's very important. Hold that thought, though, because we do have... All right, there it is. Just hitting the last bit of the tail there on the Enchantress, so that will definitely help. It is going to be Sam who gets the final hit on that kill. But I was going to say, you know, when you have something like an off-lane Tiny, it's fairly important to get the Blink Dagger within a certain amount of time, right?
Yeah, it definitely helps a lot, because then he's going to be able to get on the map earlier. So the levels are also important, and he's only a little bit behind Arteezy here, but it's just really the armor disadvantage. I mean, he's fighting a guy that has 11 armor. He has 0 base, so he's never going to trade evenly against his opponents. So that's part of the reason that Arteezy's done a good job to pressure him effectively. Because every time Divine Llama walks up, he gets attacked like 5 times like this, and he's not going to be able to trade back. So.
And he is completely out of regen right now as well. So life is hard for this Tiny. I feel like a lot of us don't have a lot of pity for Tiny pickers right now, considering that he has been just so prevalent.
Yes, but he got picked a lot the last week or two, but he's definitely falling off a little bit. Maybe just getting banned a lot, but I'm not seeing Tiny nearly as much.
I feel like he's being banned a lot.
Right.
There's the meta, popped over on Arteezy. He's just going to continue to harass, continue to farm. It's just very difficult for Divine Llama in this bottom lane.
It is. This is a good solution against them trying to abuse it like this. Another fight to the top lane.
Yeah, they get the disruption off.
Crit blocks it.
Crit blocks the arrow, very nicely done. It's going to take a little harass from Alex, but they should be able to turn this around and get the kill on Sam. Hop forward here, coming out from Alex. Eve needs to be careful. There's so much toxin just being dumped upon him. And now Jarek's trading a little bit with Alex. You can tell that Alex would love, yeah, he's going for the hop forward. Does have to be careful. The arrow missing. This could be potentially dangerous. No, with that last leap charge.
I mean, they got 5 stacks on Viper, but Sammy Boy died without releasing the poison. So unfortunately, by the time it finally popped, Drow was dead as well. So Drow loses experience gain and as much gold gain for that trade. So still looking a little rough for Wildcard Gaming, but not the end of the line or anything. But yeah, 9 last hits for Drow Ranger compared to the 17 of Nightfall. In the safe lane, Tiny's still not, he's catching up. Definitely a little closer in terms of last hits, but just seems like across the board, EG is doing really well.
Top tower is under attack.
Top lane, bit of a dive after Alex. There's not much that he can do here, so we'll just toss out an arrow, not going to connect. Jarek's also chasing after him, have that nice little ghost creep there too, trying to slow. Sam trying to get some of these stacks of poison. That does have the disruption.
That was effective.
He's just getting domed so hard right now. It's very difficult. That should be a death. Yes, indeed it is. I feel like they shouldn't be allowed to do that, but who are they going to send, right?
It's hard, and Murano was already dead, so he's going to have to TP back to lane a bit later. The arrow's going to...
Oh, the arrow does
pretty
connect.
Good.
They have a multi-shot here. It's going to click away, and they'll find the kill.
Really nicely done. That was perfect. When they overdive like that, they're going to have more creeps running at them because they didn't have as much AoE, so great opportunity for Alex to score a kill here. His sentry goes down. He does not actually catch the ward. Really great observer. This is on the bot lane. A beautiful replay. There was a dead creep body down there, which is great.
Bottom tower is under attack.
I don't think there are any kills there, so.
Yeah, Arteezy having a great time though. 35 and 16 currently. Top of the net worth as well.
Tiny has done a good job though. Like, Divine Llama has caught up. It looked really bad the first couple waves, but now that he's about to hit 6, that's where everything gets pretty straightforward for him. He's going to get 10 bonus armor, and that's going to offset the harass advantage that Terrorblade has. But Arteezy's been able to be full greed. Didn't have to skill Reflection. He's just maxing out meta and Conjure Image, which means he's going to farm just a little bit faster than normal. So he's going to be pretty happy with this lane situation.
And can they punish him for the fact that he went for more of this greedy laning build here?
They can get aggressive, certainly with like Batrider in the mid game, or like Batrider plus Shadow Demon plus Mirana, or Tiny plus Mirana plus Batrider, or whatever else. Like, it's going to take like 2 to 3 heroes because their disables aren't super straightforward. But yeah, they can punish him in the jungle. It just depends, like, if EG is doing aggressive stuff in the meantime. Wildcard's probably going to play more defense rather than offense. It might be harder for them to actually catch Arteezy.
The swashbuckle forward, sight set on Sam, but they'll turn their attention over to Alex. Double click stuff. I just realized that there must have been a lasso in that mid lane because Lasso's on cooldown currently.
Yep.
Batrider.
Almost back.
He's got the arcane rune too, so I think we'll see him probably try to punish any diving that goes on, perhaps in the top lane, since they seem to be very aggressive.
Interestingly, it doesn't look like Kunkka even picked up a bottle this game, which I'm a little bit curious about. He is spending some time jungling here, probably just because he is worried about dying. So it's just one of those matchup things that laning against a Batrider as a melee hero, scary stuff. So he plays safe. Yep,
yeah,
there's Abed almost dying. Picks up 6 here. It's going to interrupt it with Lasso. And yeah, very nice kill.
As you say that, got some action into the bottom lane. Nice avalanche, toss up into the air from Vylama, and they will be able to punish Arteezy.
Great rotation. Super big kill there. Arteezy gets punished. Maybe they get this Alex kill, but man, after getting Arteezy, they're going to be happy.
Yeah, with that earn charge too, it is just too hard to survive.
Very good stuff. Almost treads for Viper now, so pretty standard items.
Jarek TPing to the middle lane. Looks like they were hoping to perhaps perform a gank here on Sam, but he's fine.
Yeah, he's just holding the wave right now to catch up some experience a bit. S going to get another rune, and Invis this time still has Lasso. Keep in mind that a mid-observer ward does not spot. All right, see who's
here they come. Oh, there's the Firefly getting started. Has his eyes on crit.
Uh-oh.
Taking a bit of time here. Needs to be very careful. That Viper Strike will get the Lasso off. So they should be able to get the kill, but he's going to fall first before taking out Nightfall, which is not the way he wanted that to go. Sam, searching for crit over here, isn't going to be able to see him with that Fog of War, so he's going to make it out.
That was a pretty big mistake by Bat. Probably should have just gone for Viper immediately, but as soon as he went for crit and crit jumped away just an inch, that's where things get dangerous. Too much damage from Viper ends up getting the golden experience.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
But at least Sam can delay the mid death a little bit. Catapult's dead, so he's just got to spam Shadow Poison. He can slow this down, and so far Jarek's impact he's been doing pretty good, 1-1 and 5, but Top tower gets denied. It was mostly just kills. I haven't felt a huge amount of tower pressure, but he's getting some done.
I don't think he's found the dark summoner yet, right?
Exactly.
That is the creep du jour.
That's the one to get you.
Absolutely bonkers. Do get a couple of those neutral items though. Found his trusty shovel, arcane ring, and I like the way that Wildcard is being very aggressive over here, especially over in the jungle, trying to keep tabs on just the farming happening and whatnot. But EG also making their own moves towards this top area of the map, combing through and also trying to see if there's any stacks or any sort of vision that they can take down.
It's dark troll time, Moxie. Jarex is making his way towards the mid lane. Consider this tower dead.
Yeah, that rally, man. It's too good. It's already fairly looking dead anyways, but Alex, do you know what's about to happen? Yeah, look, they just sent the Skelly boys over to the tower. Look at him go. Pubs equal ruined.
Yep, tanks it with his main creep, but yeah, very dead. Nothing you can do about this. But Haste Rune and a Boots of Travel on Batrider. He's very capable at fighting here. Has to be a little careful about disable, such as from Abed, Kunkka. But if he can get a good grab and there's a little bit of nuke follow-up, maybe an arrow, it's a really easy way to get a kill right now. Going high ground's a little scary. But I like that EG's farming here. It's going to make it a lot harder for Wildcard to rotate, to potentially mess with a top gank against Nightfall, who's currently a little vulnerable.
We're very close to the Blink Dagger now for Tiny too, and that is where I think we're going to see a lot of the aggression start pouring out from Wildcard.
Yeah, that'll help a lot. 4 points avalanche, that damage is the damage that gets doubled while somebody's tossed in the air, and should make it easier for a little disable follow-up, whether it's a gust or maybe like a Shadow Demon ulti.
Good setup, and there it is. This is the long way around, EG, my goodness. Abed and Crit hunting through.
Do they see him? They put the ward down. They actually barely miss him. If they'd moved south just a couple seconds earlier, they would have seen him moving to the mid lane, and maybe they can go for a kill attempt, but in the end, Sammy boy TPs to the top lane, trying to slow down this push. Do not want to let Jarex pressure the tier 2 for nothing. And they are going to punish him for it.
Yep, there's the setup here from Sam. He gets position, throwing down all of the stacks. A toss up into the air from Divine Llama. And that is an easy way to get rid of Enchantress off the tower.
I like what S did though. Like he TPs in, he realizes like Enchantress is caught with the disruption. I don't need to kill him. I want to look for a +1 kill. So he looked for any other heroes. And the reality is that Jarex created a lot of space doing this. He dies, but you know, this is what he likes to do. He likes to be on the enemy side of the map, force them to put their attention on him, because in the meantime his cores are top net worth. There he is, Nightfall #1, the true carry of EG. Arteezy's been farming Tri-Camp, he farms all the safe places, and the rest of his team is looking around for opportunities, and they're keeping the game even. So I think Wildcard Gaming should be pretty happy right now with how the game's going.
I mean, it's neck and neck still. I do love the vision that we're seeing placed out. Like you can see AG has placed one over in the triangle on the Dire side, kind of to keep tabs. I'm sure they want to try to do some stacking. But if you take a look at Wildcard as well, they've got a nice ward over between the tier 1 and 2 in mid lane. And then they've also got one in the triangle because they know exactly what Arteezy wants to be doing right now. And if they can keep tabs on them and perhaps get the jump using the Moonlight Shadow or whatnot, it could pay off in spades.
Yeah, for sure. They also, but with that Observer Ward that EG placed earlier on the Tri-Camp area, they're going to be able to see when Drow Ranger gets active as well. And Drow Ranger farming is fine, but it's not going to be as quick as Terrorblade can muster. So I think for now EG is going to feel pretty comfortable, especially as the game continues. They can get Reflection later on against Drow. That'll be really effective. And Terrorblade is going to be able to bring range against Drow pretty effectively.
I was about to ask, I was like, I know there's a sentry there. I'm surprised that they didn't pull down the vision, but nope, Arteezy finds it, and there's a smoke play coming in now. They know that there's several over here in the triangle, so they're going to try to come in and invade. Eva's already left, though.
Wow.
Yeah, the will walk into Divine Llama. It's the avalanche, the toss. He's trying to back off. The X marks the spot, though. Nice disruption from Sam. Going to allow them to just reset, re-engage if they want. They use the Moonlight Shadow, and no harm, no foul. That
was really well done. All on Eve's basically for moving back at the perfect time. I didn't see if they caught them using smoke or not, but regardless, he retreats at the perfect moment. Even then, he was killing the Ancients at a really safe place to the upper right, so lower chance that he ends up getting caught there. So good usage of the Quelling Blade. And a missed rotation by EG. They're still out farming their opponents, so 1k gold advantage for them, but...
I see our tour, though. Good ask. Starting to get the stacks up. Has the Firefly already going. It's a lot of damage. Asunder, but the drag back. Do they have anyone else to help him out? Do they need anyone else? So it's a question because he's got so many stacks of Sticky that Arteezy just dies.
Yeah. I mean, he used Thunder perfectly there, but it's just too much damage. Jessica played that excellent.
Here we go. Follow up. This is looking like a dead Alex. He does have the leap, though. Only one charge, so yes, they'll be able to collect a kill.
Great kill. Oh.
They're looking to re-engage, though. By Llama nearby with Esk. EG, though, they made their hit and run, and it looks like they're satisfied with that.
Radiant's courier has
Got a
been
courier on the
killed.
cleanup at least, not the worst. And once they get BKB on Batrider, he's not going to have to worry about the enemy team nearly as much. Doesn't have to worry about X marks the spot, Viper abilities. Ooh, Eve's maybe in trouble though.
I think he's in a lot of trouble considering it's Nightfall and Abed. Yeah.
Is under attack.
Usually very safe to defend this tower actually, so that was kind of a cool gank by EG, but once again they probably used that same ward from earlier to spot Eve's rotating down. They're able to anticipate it and then gank him at the perfect moment after there had been a bunch of action top, so that was really nicely done by EG. Cool to see those pickoffs.
And they still have not managed to find that one ward that's been placed pretty deep in the Tri area, so it's paying off quite a bit.
Yeah, Sam does one attempt at a D ward there, but yeah, they didn't anticipate them putting that ward down so early.
Well, I mean, even I was surprised with like how wide they did their smoke, right?
Yeah, but it makes sense. Like against an inferior, very easy to gank carry like Drow Ranger, you know, ganking in the tri-camp feels really simple. As long as she doesn't silence you, she's a straightforward kill in most cases.
We're seeing currently the 3 cores on the side of EG, sitting at the top of the net worth. Look at all those skelly boys. Alex is trying to get rid of him. He doesn't like him. He wants to get rid of this creep.
This is like peak Jerax. He just stands in the enemy jungle. He didn't even buy boots. He's just like, I'm gonna be aggressive and mess with my opponents, scout them out, and then maybe my team comes eventually. They almost catch Alex here. He leaps away right before the X lands. Observer ward's gonna help spot that out. Thinking about getting a grab here. Oh, they will get one disruption.
Oh no, yeah.
They got it. Great disruption.
Did indeed. They made their own Terrorblades, you know?
And now because disruption's on cooldown, they're gonna take Roche.
Bring in all the rally skelly men.
Oh, that's some good.
Look at them go. Look at all that rallied.
+6, pretty good. And yeah, just committing to Roche. They had great vision. They got Wildcard Gaming disengaged. Mirana ulti got used as well, so now they don't have to worry about vision as much. And they're just going to block arrows or anything else. And Arteezy gets Aegis. There's the Radiant advantage for you. A little bit easier to take Roche, especially when you still have your mid tier 1. Easier for you guys to buy back once you control jungle. And now 2k advantage. And this is going to allow them to now cross the map and be aggressive on towers. Or Arteezy will take the Aegis and farm the tri-camp. Also a possibility.
You know, he's at the top of the net worth. He might as well stay on top.
And it's the reason he's doing this. It's not worth pressuring when meta's about to be off cooldown anyway, so use meta to guarantee Roche, go back to jungle to continue utilizing meta, we'll farm towards BKB. Now if he gets ganked, his team can back him up. It's basically just buying them more minutes to further help out their advantage and beat Drow in the late game.
Yeah, they're definitely waiting patiently over here, grouped up over on the side of EG, waiting for that next moment that they can make something happen, and they're smoked up. Jerax having those sprites up, so it's going to be able to shake off that Sunder. And they're on the hunt, but maybe they find themselves a tiny?
They're just doing a great job pushing in lanes. Jerax takes range creeps, pushes that in, they're going to drop.
It's a big sweep.
The talks.
Oh, okay. Smoke pops. They see a lot of couriers coming over here. Oh, they see Esk. That would be a great one to take out. But he does have the BKB, so he's going to just hold Viper into place. This Divine Llama tossing up. They haven't quite managed to finish off Nightfall. Oh, no, but they do have enough Firefly. Alex still alive here as the rest of the side of EG are just backing off. They don't have their Terrorblade. And they ended up losing. Oh, Divine Llama is not done yet. The toss back to the team. BKB comes out of Abed. He is not willing to stand and fight just yet. As they'll get the Demonic Purge off, slowing them down just a little bit. The follow, the bow being tossed in with the X marks the spot. And Divine Llama still on the chase with the Avalanche. The toss up into the air, right back to S. He's taking so much harass, and somehow he's still alive.
That boat buff. Oh, the damage though.
There it is. They slay him finally. They'll just keep going back and forth. Divine Llama though, he wants to go back. He's going to be able to go and just place too. Oh my god. Viper Strike getting used on him, slows him down, but he just walks out of that Nether Toxin, no problem.
All right, Divine Llama's 3-position Tiny. I'm a believer now. I didn't quite believe it, but I believe it now.
He's still going. You gotta believe. Look at this. Nightfall again. He just drops that Nether Toxin. They walk away. Get a couple more clicks off. Just trying to layer on this damage. It is hard to take down this Viper, but
he is super tanky, but man, what great plays by Divine Llama there. Initially catching Kunkka on the low ground, tossing him back, flame breaking him back, basically doing like an epic pudge hook. Then he gets this follow-up, again throwing him back, making his life hell. Some great damage follow-up, and then his third Avatos combo ends up catching both supports together to clean those kills up. He's doing great. 5-0 and 2 now, matching net worth with Kunkka basically. And Batrider's getting really close to Arteezy's net worth. With that BKB, it's easy for him to fight at this point.
Oh.
There, gets a kill in the bot lane, picking up crit. And this is the issue with support Pango usually. Very capable with your ultimate. You do a lot of damage in teamfight impact, but your raw HP is not very healthy compared to a typical core Pango. So you are vulnerable to burst damage like this. So Divine Llama really making a lot of good moves for his team.
Well, disruption tossed out. Arrow doesn't connect. Needs the purge again, but still, Sam will fall. That's not a really good burn coming out from Kunkka. I haven't heard that voice line.
Yeah, me neither.
You can do better than that, dude.
Those rare ones are kind of fun.
Structures are fortified.
But great pressure so far. E.g. Arteezy actually pressuring top tier 2 in the meantime. See the glyph get popped. He's going to cut the creep wave. Enchantress is also going to pressure up here. Then get the tier 2. Pretty much helps solidify the top half of the map. Aegis is back in about a minute though. So I don't know if EG wants to play Dota too much right now other than hit creeps.
Well, it doesn't look like they're going to give him much of a choice. Okay, it's a good break. They have the lasso. They'll just hold him into place, follow up with plenty of damage from Tiny, and all of a sudden Nightfall disappears.
Esk was so
Middle lane too. Jerax, the gust. Slow down a little bit. Not going to be able to quite land the arrow, but the slow should be enough as we'll claim Jerax as well.
So now things are getting a little bit weird. I mean, EG has been hitting creeps a lot so far, and this is kind of one of their common criticisms, is that they are pretty comfortable trading with their opponents for whatever reason. But this game, they're getting outfought a little bit, and it's kind of looking like some of the other matches where they've struggled a bit. Like, they did an okay job pressuring, but they're losing some of their skirmishes. So bode's kind of scary for them as the game continues.
I mean, Arteezy currently sitting top of the net worth, right? 11.4K, but look how close the rest of the cores are on the side of Wildcard. They've just, even though they've been scrapping the entire time, they're still maintaining, you know, that net worth, and it's looking a bit scary.
It is looking a little spooky for him. Especially now that Aegis is gone, it's a little bit of a window here. I mean, killing Arteezy is going to be tough with his BKB, because the chain stunning is a little bit tough, but as itemization continues, Esk is having a really good game, 4-1-7. He's been the space-creating Batrider that we wanted to see, the Spirit Esk hero, ganking side lanes, things like that. Almost going in mid, but he's going to be just fine. EG poking a little bit. The tough thing for EG is that their initiation is basically X-Mark combo or Pango roll. And I think Crit does have Blink coming up. He just got a delivery.
He just bought it.
So now he can initiate for his team, but they were struggling on that a bit before.
The Demonic Purge here in the top lane. Arteezy forced back as Crit's hunting over on the back line. Nightfall joining in to get the Thunder off the BKB. Popped over on the Terrorblade. The rolling Thunder on through. They find Esk. They'll turn their attention over to Divine Llama, and he's fairly tanky. It's pretty difficult. He's going to try to get some more damage off, but they are handling him. This is not looking good. Divine Llama will fall, but now Nightfall, he is lassoed up with the rest of the team. They have the damage, so they'll be able to punish him.
Well, he gets a big streak at least, but yeah, they defend the tower. Sammy Boy basically sets that up, disruption into ulti, that makes Terrorblade retreat, and then mass TPs from his squad is going to help them defend that. So 4K gold advantage for Wildcard Gaming. They're in a great spot right now, and having Shadow Demon against TB as the game goes on is pretty good. 75% illusion damage from disruption. It's going to hurt Arteezy a little bit. See if Sam can catch Abed here.
Dire's middle tower
does indeed. The set's in place. The arrow connects, but there is quite a few EG heroes that I don't think they want to have to deal with. They have the dust, so they'll be able to chase down Sam, and they have the dust over onto Alex. Alex is out of leap charges, so this is looking very dead for this Mirana.
That one felt a little weird because in the same vein of them invading, they also needed to split push out lanes. Just one of the threats that EG's been doing well. The TB illusions, the summons, that's stuff that Wildcard Gaming has to spend resources on, and because they had to do that with cores, it means a third damage hero can't be there to try to kill Abed. So I kind of feel like maybe Sammy just shouldn't have gone high ground once the smoke broke, considering it was just those two. Like, I don't think they can kill anybody except for maybe like Pango, if they're lucky. So probably a mistake that led to 2 deaths, and now EG gets regained. Decent map control.
Nice avalanche toss over onto 2. Abed though had the X off. There's going to be the roll coming through from Crit. Got the boat coming in hot over onto Divine Llama. He has taken a lot of this damage, but he's not going to be able to survive it. Over on the side, you can see the Drow joining back in, but the BKBs have been popped. Sam having to be careful. Again, he's very, very forward here in a lot of these fights, and he's just taking a bath in the Nether Dogs. It's going to be a double kill now, as Esk is just got to go and pop the BKB. I don't know if he wants to go back in on this, though. He keeps turning like they possibly want to go in, but...
Man, it's a cascade of events that put Wildcard Gaming from a pretty solid position into a rough one. I mean, they lost double supports that allows EG to cross the map. Then a little bit of a mistake there. Divine Llama gets caught. Sammy disrupts way too early. Unfortunately, he was trying to offset like a torrent or something, but all he did was bought time for Crit to turn the ship around, land another rolling boulder, and for the actual Kunkka boat to hit. So his disruption didn't end up accomplishing that much. So 4K gold advantage and their tier 2 tower and shrine control is lost off of those small mistakes. So tough one for Wildcard. It's going to make it, EG's going to feel a lot more comfortable with their current position.
Feels like with some of those items that just came out for Wildcard, they should be in a much better position, right? Because you get the BKB on Drow and whatnot. But yeah, the positioning. All right, they just continue to keep tabs, you know, try to push out these waves, even the bottom lane. There's going to be a skirmish over here on the side. Yeah, there it is. The Viper strike over onto Sam. Verona's going to have to hop away. Disruption buying just a little bit of time. It's not going to be enough for Sam. He gets the purge off at the file onto the back. Alex somehow still alive, throwing out the arrow. They'll clean up on Crit. They do manage to find something. They would love to get a little bit more here. As trying to find this opening goes to BKB. BKB drag back over onto the Viper, over to Divine Llama. Just try to find a bit more time, waste that BKB. Divine Llama needs to be careful himself. And it just feels like they're not going to be able to pursue much more beyond this, because even Alex, sticking around just a little bit too long. It's just a quick pick off for Abed.
Really nice torrent there. Catches him like way ahead of time. All right, well, yeah, the last one on the Viper seemed okay, but it's just harder for there to be follow-up. It feels like Eves has not always been there. He does have BKB.
Is under attack.
But yeah, I feel like the Drow Ranger was like the one hero that you could do damage to BKB targets, but even then it might be a little bit too finicky.
It felt like earlier on having this Tiny be your frontliner was really, really good for Drow, but they're getting the jump on him too fast, it feels, recently.
Yeah.
Not sure exactly what's going wrong there, but yeah, Wildcard, they're in the roach pit over here on the side of EG, and they can't contest it fast enough. So they go for their own immediate smoke. Grab up the Invis rune on top.
Yeah, Esk ran to the bot lane and hit creep wave, and I feel like EG played her on that. And now they're forcing a fight.
They are forcing that fight. The BKB over on Eve. Eve just says, no, I gotta get out, but there's too much physical damage. He just evaporates. Divine now, he's gonna try to do the same thing. I think he's going to make it out. He's a little bit tankier, but that doesn't feel good to have to use those BKBs in that fashion.
It doesn't. I mean, ideally Drow would have been in some of the other engagements, but for whatever reason, didn't really get to layer lasso with Drow damage, and maybe showing whether it was a BKB all bottom.
Yep. The buyback though, he's gonna try to join up with the rest of the team, try to keep them off the buildings. And you know, that shadow poison is pretty effective.
It is good, and disrupting illusions too.
They can get their own Terrorblade, that's always a nice perk.
Disruption on cooldown for a sec, so. Alright, well, 5k gold advantage now for EG, and you're just seeing like one of the safe things about really strong teams. Just that they make fewer mistakes, and as long as everybody, as long as you keep playing and you don't make super catastrophic mistakes, then you should have a better shot of pulling out a win when a less experienced team like Wildcard Gaming makes them. Because I think they've played really, really solid as a whole, but just some of these small like engagements have opened up big windows for EG to kind of roll away with the game, unfortunately for Wildcard. But they're still a really solid team, but it feels like they should be winning more so. They did such it's like you watch them like struggle to like pull out a nice gold advantage against EG, but then you watch it go away with mistakes. It's painful.
Yeah, I mean, we saw, the potency of the Divine Llama position 3. Got a decent flick there, and as I say that, now they're going to try to get a quick pickup. That is a fast little piggy, though. My goodness, one more hit. They'll take out Jerax.
Okay. Find some openings. It can go both ways. Get a couple EG pickoffs. Hey, maybe you can get a tier 1 tower. They're not that far behind in net worth right now. This is certainly a decent moment
middle tower is
if they get pickoffs like this. But the tough thing is that they do constantly have to spread across the map. Like Sam's playing top because he doesn't stick around. The top racks gets pressured for very, very little resources, and that's part of the reason Enchantress is in that position. So they should constantly have to TP around, split pushing waves. Then EG gets to exploit this with little engagements as a result. Thinking about starting on S.
Just kind of rolling around. They'll get the kill on Alex. And yeah, look at this. They're just talon. The X off.
He was just trying to get him to BKB there, but called his bluff.
Called bluff indeed. And Boat does actually with ask. There's the BKB. He knows he's got to get out of there. Not too much damage.
Oh, tough one. He did not have Firefly, so he couldn't actually get away. He ran south because the boat, then he realized he needed to go north, get stunned by the boat. Oh, tough one there. Ends up falling, and another pretty big mistake, very punished by EG. So tier 2 will die, and they're going to finish high ground now.
Yeah, I mean, what are they? There's not much that they can do against this right now. They've got an Aegis online on Arteezy. He's got the full Scotty. He's got BKB. He's just dishing out the hurt. Nightfall also did pick up that shard as well, which lowers the armor. Buildings, okay, is opening up. Can they just burst down the Enchantress? Yes, they can. BKB coming up from E, but look at this damage. It's just way too strong. They haven't even managed to finish up Crit yet. So they'll end up losing it. Crit will fall. Crit buying back. He's going to come right back in again. And they do have the damage coming out from both illusions as they throw right back over onto Arteezy. That's going to be the Aegis. It's going to be coming up a second time. Can they do it again? The BKB over on Divine Llama. They want to try to punish Arteezy. Look at this. They're trying to get over to this area. The Gust will connect. Multi-shots to follow with the Avalanche. And they are going to toss up Arteezy into the air. They'll finally take him out. Roll on to the back lines coming out from Crit. He does have the roll up. Ovid making his way over here too. They want to get the kill onto Eve. They will find it down for 110 seconds. As a BKB comes out from Ovid, they don't have anything to cancel this out. So he'll be able to just leave. Ask looking for this opportunity though. Will make his way over, take a bath in the Firefly, and Crit will finally get slain.
They pushed him around a bunch to get that kill, but all right. They lost 2 racks, but they got some big kills. That part is helpful at least. The Arteezy kill was great. Finally saw another flash of brilliance from Divine Llama, tossing him back with the chain disabled. They're all invis. So they end up killing him. They reset, kill him again. It's really nicely done.
I mean, he struggled. Like, they made the disruption on him too. Like, fighting himself hurt. Plus, with the demonic purge and whatnot, it.
Clear sailing now.
It's a lot of damage when you disrupt him for sure. Makes things great. Octarine Core on Batrider has been finished for a bit, so lowers his cooldowns and everything, allows them to fight more often. More movement speed, all that good stuff. But they have to get more pickoffs on the map, obviously. Tiny combos is a good option. Batrider does a lot of decent damage, but it's difficult for Drow to be like close to the fight, but not so out of position that she just gets overwhelmed.
Yeah. I mean, it feels like one of those heroes where like not quite like a Medusa, right? Because a Medusa tends to be fairly slow, unless she's got the Stone Gaze going on. But you kind of want the fight to be brought to you, so to speak, or have someone else be the focal point and you're just hitting things. So.
Yeah, Drow's very similar. Yeah, definitely. Except Medusa is actually tanky, so you can put yourself in a bad position and then have outs. Whereas Drow, it's ideally like, oh, you follow up on other heroes, or sit at the back line. It's like a kind of a weaker version of Sniper in some defensive range standpoints, but I mean, you have good tools. Multi-shot's pretty good. Marksmanship can be effective. It's just that they've struggled a little bit net worth wise, and Drow's overall farm speed is just not quite the same. But she does offer strong things. It's just I feel like she tends to play from behind in a lot of cases if you don't win your lane.
Dire are scanning.
It's fine. This was a useless build.
Smoke on smoke action. EG was so going through that jungle hoping they could find someone on the side of Wildcard, but instead they're just going to take down some vision, try to secure this area, and make it very spooky for Wildcard to step out.
Hobbit's got a side of ice, so let's see if he can get a disable here, even though somebody like Alex would be huge. Burst somebody down, maybe.
Moving forward here.
He's being the scout that his team might need. His Shadowblade runs out, though.
Scary. That's very scary. Oh my god. Divine Llama. Okay, the roll forward coming out from Crit will manage to stun immediately.
Oh,
that's the drag over to the side, though. Now they'll be able to go and they get Crit almost immediately. The rest of EG, though, Sam throwing out the disruption. This is exactly where it's going. The arrow coming through, but there it is. There's that BKB. Sam should get shredded to bits now as the rest of Wildcard. They're backing off. Those BKBs have been expended. Be interested to see if EG decides they want to go right back up again, try to push their advantage, or if they're going to respect for now.
All right, yeah, it's just too hard to run up cliff against them. I like Sammy Boy's intention to get aggressive there because they did lose team fight advantage, but Arteezy was happy to stand there, pops BKB, but it's just really difficult to fight into him if you're not ready to chain stun. And Divine Llama had already BKB'd as well.
There's the cheap stick being revealed. Derax giving a couple of these hits out. It's way over. That's so much damage.
And now they chase for sure.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, the TP.
They found, no.
Ava's too short as well.
Oh my god!
Good attempt. And once again, EG split pushing, and now they're gonna have to run back again to counter push.
Hobbit starting to make something happen over here. The Hex off, the axe into the boat combination. Hop forward, still alive. They chase in. It is just Alex right now. They don't have anyone else to quite join into the chase, so it's like Alex just gonna hide over in the tree line. He is here. Try to go. Full reveal.
Hobbit's being really aggressive right now.
He's being very cheeky for sure.
I mean, it's cool, right? Like they have a little window for Wildcard to get stuff done, but if they don't push out this creep wave, they have to really deal with this Rax. It's the last one. They gotta protect it.
It's dropping down another toxin. They're gonna back off. Another casual arrow tossed out won't connect.
Just everybody in EG is doing a great job pressuring here. Just little annoying pokes, but certainly enough to be obnoxious.
Well, I mean, they took down all their vision too. You know, they went through the jungle earlier when they went through the smoke. They made sure that, you know, they just are 100% sure who's in the vicinity and who's not, and that can be very scary.
Yeah, and this is how it pays off. If you poke like this constantly, you don't know when your opponents are going to run out of the trees with all 5 heroes. In reality, it was just 1 or 2 here and there, and now if they can back up and take Roshan in this small downtime, ends up being really important tactically. So they get free Ags and an Aegis. Ags goes to Terrorblade, give him the Terror Wave, so second meta. And good luck fighting now. He's even got Blink. Swift Blink, so he's gonna Blink, Terror Wave, probably kill 1 or 2 supports, we'll see. He's really scary right now though.
What's the best way for Wildcard to approach this? Because obviously they need to be pushing out their waves because they have this one little creep over here.
Like they're backdooring with Cobalt Foreman, like the terror that it strikes in your opponents.
I love that Cobalt. It's a great one.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, pushing out waves is really difficult. It's already hard enough normally, but now you have to deal with like 1 illusion, just like killing an entire creep wave bottom. Like, how do you deal with this? It's so hard. Shadow Demon helps a little bit, but the illusions don't really kill each other very well since their armor level is so stupidly high. So there aren't perfect solutions outside of like Life Drain or Hex or Dagon or something like that.
Yeah.
So they basically have to like wait till EG chooses to go high ground. They have to do some double burst to pick off maybe Crit, or double kill Terrorblade, or kill Kunko before BKB gets popped. And then afterwards, ideally finally cross the map a little bit. But it's going to be hard unless you get like a really commanding team fight.
We've got so many blinks too over on the side of EG. Like once they decide that it's time to go in, that everybody just follows. Very, very scary for that snap aggression that they can put out. Wildcard just, again, they have no vision. It's so scary for them to step outside the base. They have that 1 ward in the top lane, but that doesn't give them a whole heck of a lot because they can't see into the other side of their jungle.
Yeah, that ward is basically just for when EG goes high ground, that they want vision advantage. But tough for them to leave the base with these split push situations and the gem disadvantage. I'm sure at some point EG will force this, but they're definitely adding on a lot of items right now, which is pretty reasonable. There's a butterfly and draw ranger. That's maybe one thing they're slowing down a bit for. MKB on TB is tuned, but no, they're gonna go do some pressure now.
Is under attack.
I mean, they've got the Aegis, they've got Sunder, they've got BKB, they've got a lot of tools to keep Arteezy alive here. And they have the cheese over on Abed.
Oh, he goes in.
He's going in. See that seal coming out here as they just chase down X, and look at all of the spotty damage. Go right back on in again, though. Crit rolling around, the tower will go down. Crit taking a decent amount of damage, but he is just buying space and time for them to hit these buildings. BKB comes out now for Shadow Demon. They'll turn around briefly. Of course, they do have to be careful of the Aegis, though. Okay, they'll go for the Thunder. Drag back, though, coming out from Ask. He's gonna see if he can get off as much damage as possible, but it's pretty difficult because on the back lines is Arteezy. No, okay, that's gonna be the Aegis. Bet he's jumped in. He's got the Hag Stop over onto Sam. Is going to be able to find the kill onto Shadow Demon. Sam buys back, though. If they want to be a part of this, they'll find a kill on Abed. And
good.
now they need to finish off. Can they do it? Look at this, standing toe-to-toe here with Arteezy. This is not looking good for them. Yes, that's a triple kill now for Eve as Nightfall running for his life. Doesn't want to be here. Can they cancel out this TP? No.
That was still incredible. The one guy that survived cannot split push well, so this is the perfect thing that they needed. They won the team fight. They got enough kills. Now they can push out lanes pretty aggressively, get some vision down. I assume they reclaim the gem as well. Sammy did buy back, but yeah, there's a gem on Tiny that he stole from Jarek. So, and we're seeing a little bit of the vulnerability here. BKB gets popped by Arteezy. It definitely was needed there. They put some damage in here. Esk eventually gets a little bit aggressive. The boat comes in as well. He lassos him back. This forces EG to go back in. Good halberd there against the Draw Ranger. She is able to multi-shot through it, so it allows her to blow up Jarex very easily. And Abed was able to get the support kill, but now as a result, he got over-aggressive. They're able to clean up Kunkka very easily. And at this point, fighting Terrorblade to the death is not that hard for Eves. Every time he gets one of those procs from marksmanship, he's going all the way through Arteezy's armor here.
No, they have a double damage online. They're going to be able to equalize out this area because there's still no Terrorblade for 24 seconds. Do have the Kunkka coming up at about 20, so they do have to be very mindful, but they've got most of their spells off the cooldown. You've got a lasso available soon over on Esk if needed. They've got ways to make this work.
I mean, ultimately that all came down to EG's initiation. He jumped in trying to kill Esk. Esk was saved by the Mirana ulti, so really nicely done by Wildcard Gaming to pull out a win in that fight, take the mid side of barracks. That's going to relieve a lot of the push pressure on the map. Definitely not everything, but it will start a potential comeback here as EG's now only up by 6,000 net worth. But I get why Arteezy went for it. They got the free Ags. It's a initiation opportunity again. Their initiation is not very strong. A lot of the fights, Crit feels the need to go in and do it. But then if he doesn't catch Drow Ranger, he just gets blown up. He's taking huge amount of physical damage. Drow is perfect for the circumstance. So it's difficult for EG to take a team fight, and they can't slow siege that rapidly. So they tried to force it. It did not go so well. Wildcard Gaming stabilizes for a bit and buys more time.
I like the fact that they've got the demonic cleanse. Plus, you know, we talked about, you know, the Shadow Demon a lot of the times is not going to have, you know, all those items necessary. We are fairly deep into the game now, but having the Ags and the Shard.
It's really good.
So good, and you're seeing that in these fights.
It's insanely good, actually, because he's getting 700 HP heals after 7 seconds and 7-second cleanses on his allies. So that's a Viper or poison attack for Viper. It just doesn't stay on an opponent. They can't get slowed by Enchantress. The Scotty, just not there for 7 seconds. That shit alone is bonkers good. Not having to worry about that. So yeah, the cleanse and him having X is massive. He had Philly Stone earlier. He's 4-11 and 11, and he's got some net worth, so it works out. And 3/3 demonic purge is also godly. So let's see how the fight goes.
Rolling forward, does find themselves the Drow immediately. Okay, good save though. Buying time. Boat comes through. This is not looking great though. They're still going to be able to take that even. They're going to immediately buy back the drag back though. Over onto the side. Now they'll be able to go toss back up into the air. They have so much damage.
They got him.
The silence will get the kill on Arteezy. Another arrow getting tossed. Abed, he's already decided. He's just got to get out of here. Right here, right now. Jarex, they do spot him. They have anything to cancel? No.
So it's good defense. They got Arteezy, pulled him super out of position. Good save by the Kunkka. Abed almost slows that down by Xing him back, but unfortunately just too much damage. They kill Arteezy. BKB was used already. They hit him with a gust. Another kill. His net worth is still stupidly high, but it is clear that they have the damage to deal with him. So they're going to cross the map once again. S pushes out bottom. He actually is going to run into the enemy squad. They see him.
Oh yeah, the Hex has already been placed down. The X, and they have so much damage. They don't even really need to see him.
Nicely done.
You think they have a gem, right? Yeah, they have a gem on the Kunkka.
Just an unfortunate moment there that he, it's like one of those things, you don't want to walk in the river when you can walk on the high ground. If he had been high ground vision, he definitely pops his BKB in time, doesn't get caught. But unfortunately for him,
ooh, Alex.
Bottom.
Alex saw it, saw the drop there with that another toxin. They do ping it out, but doesn't look like they're going to be able to grab Nightfall.
Oh, it was actually the Orchid that silenced Arteezy. Alex picked that up on the Mirana. His item build's kind of wacky, but Diffusal Blade, Solar Crest, and Orchid. He's also got a Mind Breaker, so tons of utility coming out of him this game. Perfect for when the BKB is gone on Arteezy. He didn't go for a Manta Style. It's a perfect solution. Don't have to rely as much on Drow Ranger's Gust. So still fighting for their lives from Wildcard Gaming. They lost their tier 3 tower. They got their buildings pretty damaged, but just got to get more pickoffs. There's a Lotus Orb on Pango now, so that's going to help offset the power of the lasso. They know where it's going to go. It's going to go in Terrorblade almost every time.
Yeah, the roll. See Sam's. Sam was just trying to go for that bounty rune, but he's going to end up paying for it.
All right, good pickoff. That's a dieback.
That is a dieback arrow being tossed out.
Now, are they going to go high ground, or are they going to back and do Roshan?
I feel like with the Shadow Demon down, right? Like, this is your opportunity.
It is a good spot.
It is just so good against these heroes. Now they know it's definitely down. The Batrider is going to be up in a couple seconds, so they do have to be mindful of that. But the X off here, try to stack up a little bit. The arrow connects, but of course they have the BKB. They've got the Lotus Orb over onto Nightfall.
Sacrificing himself. Well, all right.
No, he doesn't have to.
You're right.
Ask. He goes, he gets a drag back over on the Enchantress. The X back, though. Yes, they'll still be able to take down Jerax.
Dude, the barracks survived. Oh my gosh.
Very little, yeah. 50, 60 something, and it's going back up again.
They abused the shard with the X there to get that easy damage in. Cost him a BKB.
Abed, the follow-up. There's the Hex. He's already got the BKB, but there's so much damage being tossed down here. The Drow, though, oh my god, and the Bloodline just absolutely getting shredded. The silence was placed over onto Arteezy. It's a split fight. They have just left the Bylama all alone here, and there's just so much damage coming out from Arteezy, coming out from Nightfall. They'll take down the Bylama. The buyback now coming out from Tiny as they do a lot of damage over onto Esk, and Esk tries to do the high ground again. It's a triple kill now. More buybacks coming out. They see this opening. They want it into Bylama. Again, jumps forward using that blink. Does get the avalanche, but
it's still alive.
Somehow it is still alive, and it definitely should not be. They finally managed to take it down. They'll take down the other side. The tier 4s are getting wailed upon by the creeps, so they have to bring their attention over there too.
They're playing this one a little safe here. They are worried about like Ava tossbacks into Fountain or Lasso, which is up. So I get the worry. I mean, they can still rush and get back into the base. It's maybe like a little bit of overcaution by EG, but they can definitely finish this and head back to the base with some advantages here. Got a Refresher Orb on Kunkka. They've got a Shard on Roche. Another free Ags going to somebody, probably Abed since he's got Refresher.
Yeah, they can't get out there fast enough. They're smoked up, but this Roche just gets shredded way too fast.
Yep, Kunkka does pick it off, and 50 seconds left. Or Drow Ranger's still dead, so this is the time for them to end the game cleanly.
I do like a Waterbender Kunkka.
It's pretty fun. He's going to have 3 ultis with the shard as well. So,
oh my god.
3 BKBs.
Everybody's
3 Torrent
computers are just going to explode at that point.
It's going to be like 15 boats or something like that.
An armada, yes?
Yes.
Fleet, the armada, the Nightfall blinking forward. The drag back, he might have overextended. No, they have the X. Apply the break, and we do have that Torrent Storm just everywhere right now. And it feels like Wildcard, they're chasing after this Viper, but they can't quite find the opening over here. Very nice play here. Thunder comes off. They'll turn back around. They'll just blow up Sam. They'll take down the building so quickly. It's just water roll left and right. S can't even get close to them before he just immediately pelted with the snowballs. Rolling Thunder over onto the backlines coming out from Crit. They pop the BKB. It's all over.
All right, EG does